All right, so let's talk about S3 today. Simple storage services. Let's see what we can do with it and what it has to offer. And let's start by click on S3. If you don't see S3 in your console, you can also search it here like S3. All right, so what we can do is there is a concept of buckets in S3. Like I have created two buckets, these two buckets. And what are the buckets? Buckets are actually containers where we can store things. As per account, there are like they can create up to 100 buckets, and inside buckets there are like close to unlimited space inside one bucket where you can store anything you want. Let's try one. Let's say I create a bucket and okay, general purpose. Okay, here's a catch. Bucket name should be global. Like it shouldn't be like unique in your on account only. It should be like unique in the global area. Like every in the world, you should have a unique bucket name. So I will do is copy paste. Let's see first. Okay, blocking public access. Let's mark it down here. We don't want to block all public access as we want to like access these things. All right. You see that copy paste already exists. So what we are gonna do is copy paste 0, 1, 2, 3. I hope this is unique. All right, let's mark it on. That's great. Our bucket is being created. Let's go to our bucket. And you see that there are no objects right now. So what we are gonna do is we are gonna upload something, add files, and we are going to like let's take something from here. Yeah, and upload it. Great. File is uploaded. Let's go there. You can see it as it will be allowed a URL. So what we are seeing here that we do not have any like access to any access to that URL, but we unmarked the block of public access key. So why are not we having a look at it? So one thing here is that we have to give permissions, but in the permissions we like this is okay that we turned it off to block the public access, okay, but we also have to like add a policy here, okay. Now how do we write a policy here? We can add new statement. In the new statement we can choose S3. In S3 we can like get object because we want to see that thing, get object. All right, it's okay. And in the resources section we need to select all resources and then add resource. All right, in the principal section we are going to add a static, and in the resources we can copy it and paste it there. Let's see if we are good or not. All right, we have an error here that action does not apply to any resource in statement. What are we doing it wrong? Okay, S3 get object. and statement like so yeah, here's a catch. We need to allow everything in that URL. Let's see if we are good or not. Yep, we are good. Let's go to that thing again. Let's see if we can access it or not. Yeah, you can see that it is accessible. That's great. All right, so let's go to our bucket. Let's see, let's go. Okay, see what we can do more from it. Okay, like well, that's looking interesting. We can host our static website on it. Let's host it and static web hosting. Let's enable it. All right, so our entry point will be index.html. Okay, all right, so let's start adding objects. In the object, I will add file named, let's create one actually, make dir html eg cd html eg and code. All right, so let's create an index.html, index.html, and boilerplate. And what we are going to do in our body is h1, and that would be hello there, static website hosting via S3. Great. Let's copy the path. Okay. Let's see if we are able to host this one or not. Okay. We are going to add the file and it's residing in our E projects HTML EG and that's our file. Okay. Let's upload it. It's uploading. Let's see if we can get it or not. That's great. Let's go. Yep. You can see that our static web how like web static website is being hosted on AWS, and you can see that at first the domain is copy paste. Okay, our bucket name, then Amazon AWS.com, and then index.html. Cool, that's great. Now heads over to next things. All right, so the next thing we are gonna do is we are going to use we are going to discuss pre-signed URLs and we are going to code it in Node.js. Get these objects, how we can like code these things. Okay, so go to the buckets and let's create a bucket. Let's say code purpose. All right, I chose a code purpose and for this I am blocking all public access. All right, and yes, we can create it. We are going to code purpose and what we are going to do is we are going to upload something. Let's say we're going to downloads and we are going to upload this file. All right, and upload. You can see upload is successful, and let's go and check our URL, our like if we can see it or not. You can see that when I click on object purpose, we are going to like access denied. Why? Because when we are accessing it, we are also coming into a public area. Okay, so in order to access it, what we are going to do is, you can see that when we click here, we got like access denied. But when we will click here, open, let's say it now. Wow. Now we are seeing this image. Now we are seeing, now we are able to access it. Why is that? You can see the URL. Let's let me open that on other. Okay, the URL is okay, our like domain and then image and .jpg, all right? And in that .jpg here, and then we are having some side some kind of like tokens, access keys, request keys. Okay, so that's what's missing, and that's what's like preventing that thing to give access, and that's what it's called pre-signed URL. Okay, all right. So what we are going to do in our like how to access it in our like Node.js application is that, let's see, let's create a user first. We can like definitely talk about IAM in some other day, but let's just create a user one. Users, and create a user. Let's say I can code. Let's say I name it as code. Okay, okay, we don't want to like provide him access to like a AWS management console, because we just want to use it like in our code. Okay, that's great. All right, so our user is created. Let's go to code. Let's go to security credentials, and we are going to create access key. All options are like that doesn't matter if you select any of these, because you are going to create one access key. Okay, I understand about recommendations. Then click on next, and that doesn't matter. We just create access key. Okay, so our secret access key and our access key are being created. Let's head over to our Node.js application, and let's see, go back and in pros like make dir um, s3 example. All right, and I'm going to scd s3 example. All right, so inside of it, I'm going to use to like access it. First, we are going to use s3 client, s3 client stk. Copy that thing like this and paste it here. Hit enter. The next thing we are going to use is pre-signed URL, pre-signed URL Node.js. All right, that's what we are looking for. Okay, and These are the two things these are like two packages we need to install to access our object. All right, so what we seeing here is directly not empty, media, not more. Let's see it here. Okay, okay. So first we are going to do is npm init. Okay. All right. So now we are going to install our packages. That one. Meanwhile, let's create index.js. Index.js. All right, and the next package would be great. All right. Okay, so what we are going to do is we are going to create a S3 client is equal to new S3 client. It's imported const S3 client is equal to require. All right. And in that client, what we are going to do is we are going to select a region. What's the region? Where can we find our region? Is our region would be code purpose, and in code purpose we have code purpose, and it is EU North. All right. Region is EU North, and credentials are okay. Here we go. Here we are going to use secret access key and our access key ID. Now these two are the same we just generated in our user. That's our access key. That's our secret access key. So normally you can store them in env files, but we don't it's a tutorial, and that's not the motive of this tutorial. So, and I am going to delete that thing like that bucket anyways. So that's not an issue here. That's the access key. And okay, we are good. Now we are going to create an async function get object URL. And inside we are going to pass key const command is equal to new get object command. Inside we are going to pass bucket. Now what's the bucket? Our bucket was port purpose, I guess. Port purpose, and our key would be the key we will pass as a parameter, okay, as an argument or whatever. All right. So const URL. At the end of the day, we want a URL, all right? URL is equal to wait get signed URL. We are going to pass S3 client and command. All right. Cool. Okay, so now what we are going to do is we are going to console.log get. Okay, we're gonna need to return that URL too because we want it. Okay, console log await get object URL, and inside I will add a key. What's the name that we are going to access? Let's go to code purpose, and that's our file, and that's what we are going to put here. All right, that's our key. Save it and let's run it. npm, sorry, node index. Okay, syntax error. All right, let's put this inside a function. Async function initialize, and then we are going to know we don't need any parameter. We just need to console.log, and we are going to call that function. Let's try this again. See, we got we got a URL. Let's test the URL if we get it or not. Yep, we do not get it. Why we are not able to get it? Let's see here. Going to the code purpose, we have properties and permissions. You can notice that we didn't select a bucket policy. All right, add a statement, choose S3 and get object. Get object and go to resource, select resource type or resources, and inside that we are going to select this, and for principles we are going to select this. Let's see. Okay, can I have the pocket policy available in public cases? All right. So what's the URL? Why are we not able to get access? Let's see. Let's see. We are lacking here is, let me just correct myself here. Right, so what problem we are facing is, remember we created a code purpose user named code, and we just forgot to give him our permission. Let's give him permission to S3, and let's see what goes in here. Add permissions, attach policies directly, and go to S3, Amazon S3 full access. Add permissions, and now let's see if we are able to get our URL or not. Yeah, so that was the whole issue because we just did everything right, but we just forgot to give our this new user, which we created through identity access management. We just forgot to give him permission to our S3. So that was the whole first that was created. Now let's do something more. Now that was the get how we can upload it to Node.js application. All right. So what we are going to do is there are two methods. First one is the get object and the next one is the put object. Okay. There is not a post request from what I know. And we can just add a put request and upload our like things. So what we are going to do is in our index.js, we are going to create a function async function put object URL. All right. In params, we are going to give key and one more thing like content type because we are going to add like we can add PDFs and videos, pictures, etc. etc. All right. So what we are going to do here is let's add um, const command is equal to new put object URL sorry command. All right. And inside that command, what we are going to specify is we are going to specify bucket like we did in get object URL. Bucket would be purpose like code purpose and the key would be the key we pass in as argument and then we have content type as our content type. Okay, we will pass that content type also in the object URL. All right. After that, we are going to get our URL is equal to await get signed URL S3 client and our command. And then we are going to return the URL. That's great. Now instead of like getting object, we are going to pass put object and inside we are going to here we are going to provide a name what we are going to name that thing. We are going to like what let's say it's a video so we are going to add a video and .mp4 that would be the name and we are going to add like the content type would be video mp4 again let's name it something else Amazon S3. All right, let's check it here, are we good or not. So that's why are we getting this get object put object URL we are getting the content type video mp4 and Amazon 3 video.mp4. Okay, we didn't save it. Okay, now we are getting output object. Now how to upload it? Now quickly open your Postman. Okay, taking much more time than expected. All right. So let's paste your URL here, set the request to put, and in the body tag, select binary and select your file. All right. The file would be, let's say, 500. Okay, that's another video I just created earlier. Let's send request. Okay, our status is 200, means we can expect it to be like a successful request. Then we are going to our code purpose. Let's go to code purpose and check if we have our video or not. Wow, you can see we named it as Amazon S3 video in our code, and here we are. We got our video. Let's check if we can access it. It's downloading. Let's see if we got the right video. And we will like, yeah, as expected, because that's without a pre-signed URL, so we can't access it. We can clearly access it above from our that button. Hello, so today I'm going to demonstrate how to solve that. You like this video, and it's like everything you need to know, like the most important details about S3 that you need to know about in Amazon. So yeah, that was the whole tutorial. Thanks.